how's everybody doing? Yeah, you guys heard the bad news from the last video. It's going to be a rough time for a little bit, but we'll get through it. Anyway, so we're going to go with Daddy Daycare this time because I'm doing the D's in my collection now. It's not going to be long before those are over. I don't have too much more for the D's. So Eddie Murphy stars in this one. That's the name I couldn't remember. And he does things like Dr. Dolittle and Goofy Rocky and a couple others that I got listed here. This is a comedy about kids. Anyway, he starts off as a working dad at a advertising company. He's the CEO, and he I forgot to do that too. Don't want to forget to do that. Download that photo. Gotta have it for the entrance, and so I can run through Photoshop to get more keywords in it. A whole lot more keywords in it. Yeah, bury more keywords in my videos. I need to start doing that. Put better descriptions up too, since I'm not putting really hardly anything. So we'll work on that later. But yeah, he's the CEO of a company, of a department that makes cereal, and he's trying to do cereal for Veggios, and the tests that they did bring a bunch of kids in there and try to convince them to eat their cereal and see if it's any good. The kids didn't like the vegetable cereals. Who knew? So they wanted the sugar stuff. So he gets unemployed. Then ends up having a hard time paying the bills for a while. So they figure they're going to spend their last bit of money instead of child care service, and it tackles some politics right there in the beginning. Women can do what men can do, men can do what women can do, and the double standard was pointed out right there, that they don't want men to be babysitters or take care of children in the home, but in the movie it worked out pretty good. So his wife goes back to work, he stays home with the kids and runs a daycare center, and then his wife's friend gets him started by playing politics with the girls and dropping off the kid. Then they have all kinds of fun, trying to figure it out, get inspected, because the other daycare center, the big one that had a monopoly on the place, is always trying to fight with them. I got to change my screen a little bit. Always trying to fight with them, and they what they do is they keep meet the standards, and then they lose a kid, a couple kids get lost, and they find them, and they have to take care of beehives and all kinds of fun stuff to keep the kids all good. The kids are wearing out the guys. They even try to do an adult-style focus group. They hire, they get the two guys that were starting it, and they get a third one they call Marvin, which is more knowledgeable than the other two because he read a couple books, on child care. And then, nobody's actually got any kind of experience or degrees in this movie with the way with the kids, but they seem to work it out. I don't know how they got all these kids to act like that, but they show the kids in the backyard playing with lawnmowers and all kinds of fun stuff when they're trying to get going, and all the things that could go wrong do, which is funny. It really is funny. It is really funny, and it turns out to be a pretty good movie when you get into it. And you got to pay attention and watch what it's doing. I don't know if anybody hears that, but I hear crickets in the background. Anyway, so besides the crickets that keep coming up, I don't understand what's going on. Maybe the editor's putting crickets in there for me. But it's one of those things that just kind of happens. But they do all kinds of fun stuff with the kids. They do the focus groups. First day they feed them a lot of sugar, so they're running around all over the place. And when the parents get there, they're sleeping. Crash. What comes up must come down. And then one of the daddies is having problems potty training his kids, so they go over that, and the bathroom gets all destroyed, and it's all kinds of fun stuff. It really does turn out to be a pretty good empowerment movie. We could say it's a male empowerment movie, but I don't think Eddie Murphy would like that too much, since he made this to play politics with the women, because at the time they made this movie, 2003, that was the actual main focus. Is, women were trying to say they can do what men can do, so at the time some of the men started saying they could do what women do. Now it's just gone crazy. It's a big bad thing on the other channel. Oh, well, it's going to be a short video because I don't have too much to talk about on this one. So they did a real good job making this. I kind of liked it. They spent too much money for it, but I liked it anyway. Okay, so we got what was it? Sony Pictures released this one too. It was released on May 9th, 2003 in the United States. It ran 92 minutes long. That's not bad. It was English. It was made in the United States, of course, country of origin. Then budget was $60 million on this thing, and they made $164.4 million on this thing. So it wasn't too bad of a movie, and I've got a copy of it. So they did a pretty good job there. But it's, like I say, it's another one of those movies that you got to actually pay attention to all the way through, and it's a good movie to babysit your kids still with. So yeah, that turned out to be a pretty good movie. So we're just going to go ahead and call this one a day and time, and we'll see you with the next video. Everybody be safe, be care, and we'll talk to you on the next one.